everybody, you're on board the gospel train. I'm Sharon Rucker. It is time for Let's Talk. Thank you, those of you that are already on the site. Thank you so very much. And I wish you would help me do something. All you have to do, guys, is send an email. You can send a text. Tell somebody to log on to SharonRucker.com. That's all you have to do, guys. Tell them to log on to SharonRucker.com and join us in our conversation today, because we try to have relevant conversation for you. So those of you that are coming on Facebook, welcome everybody. Come on into the room, guys. Come on into the room. I have been moving all day today. It's been one of those kind of days. But guess what? It's been a good day. It's been a good day, everybody. All of my days are good. Anytime I am still here when I wake up, it's a good day. It's a good day, everybody. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I am hooking up some things, getting us ready. Those of you that are coming on Facebook, click like and click share. That's all you have to do. Click like and click share. Those of you that are already on site, all you have to do is send an email, send a text, tell somebody to go to SharonRucker.com. Follow the prompts until you hear me speaking or music in the background, and they will know that they are at the right place, everybody. We will get started in about 1 minute. So far, my co-hosts have not come into the room, so that's a good thing. I have beat them again today. All right, everybody, I am going to hook up some things that I'm doing right now, and we'll get started in about 1 minute. Thank you all so much for joining me. The time is 7 minutes after the hour of 6. Alrighty, I think Dewey is already out there, everybody. So that's a good thing. Dewey is coming on quick now. All right, Dewey is in the room, guys. So I am going to go on and lower the music, and we can get started since Dewey's already out there waiting. That's a good thing. It means Deborah is on the way, right? So I'm going to lower the music, bring Dewey on into the conference room. Hey, Dewey.
Hey, how you doing, Miss Sharon?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
I told everybody it's a good day. Dewey, reason why I say it's a good day, anytime you wake up, everybody, anytime you wake up, it's a good day, all right?
It's a good day.
Yeah, right. I have been moving today. I really have. But anytime you wake up, it's a good day for you, because that means that you're still here and you still got an opportunity to do something that you needed to do to make things right. Dewey, wasn't it sad about the sister that shot the other sister? I think that happened, this week? Wasn't that the saddest thing? Awful. Everybody, that happened here in Knoxville. Those of you that, I have a lot of people that listen around the world. We live in Knoxville, Tennessee, and two sisters got into an argument this week, and one of the sisters, everybody, went to her car, got a gun, and I think the first time she shot possibly over the car, and then the second time, I guess they were still arguing at that point. She hit her sister with the bullet and killed her. You know, I said to my Facebook friends this week, I said, every argument does not require that you have to be violent. The fact that she went to the car to get a gun, you know that there was going to be violence. Mm-hmm. You know, what if she had just gone to her car, gotten in it, started it up, pulled off, gone home, drove home, and gone home? Because listen, everybody, when you wake up the next day, nothing is as bad as it was the day before. I'm serious. I can be mad as fire sometimes at my husband over things. And the next day, we speaking like nothing happened, okay? Probably that same afternoon. Now, we don't even go to the next day, but I'm just saying, sometimes, everybody, particularly if you're fussing with a family member and you don't live in the same house, get in your car and go home. Just go home, everybody. Go home, okay? It'll be better the next day. I promise you, it'll be better the next day. Because, you know, all I can think about with her doing, I keep thinking, excuse me, you know, I don't know if she's still incarcerated. I don't know. But all I can think about, everybody, is what she must be going through knowing that she has killed her sister. Can you imagine, Dewey?
I just can't. I can't imagine. But I'm paying so much sense. I went to Bassie's funeral today. Your preacher, he preached a eulogy. It was a great eulogy.
Oh, did he?
This kid.
You know, that's
He
another
really
thing. I
did.
was thinking about the person he's talking about, everybody. This is a choir member's son. He was killed this week as well. No, it was last week. Wasn't it last week that he was killed? It was last week, everybody. A drive-by shooting, and one of my choir members' sons was killed. He was, I think, 41. And it's just so sad, Dewey. It's just so sad.
It is.
These
It
young people
really is.
are losing their lives.
We just, at some point, we're going to have to take responsibility
Yes,
for
Dewey. Yes, we are.
our community. Those other people not going to look after us like we can look after ourselves.
That's true.
And that's one of the issues, that we don't have enough of us here to be killing each other. I mean, it's so senseless. It's not even, just over nothing.
That's right.
Drove. He was sitting in his car. They just drove it, shot a bunch of bullets into the car. One of them hit him in the head.
Have they found out, Dewey, who did it? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard. So I don't think they have. They have a camera. It was behind a church, in the street behind the church, and they're going to try to use the cameras from the church to see if they can identify.
And then, Dewey, I don't know if you know, but Dewey, there was another shooting on Thursday night. Now they did find that person, but guys, we had another shooting on Thursday night. Somebody else died on Thursday night. I mean, Knoxville. Well, we've been kind of in this mode, but it had kind of calmed down, Dewey, since you all had that big meeting downtown and the courtroom was filled up. It kind of had calmed down.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not the police, guys. It's not the police shooting our people. It's us shooting each other, okay?
That's
So
right.
this time, I can't say it's police shooting us. This time, we are killing each other. Hey, Deborah, I see you just came on. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing, Sharon?
Doing well, doing well. Question, Deborah, did you get your shot? I thought you said you were getting it on Monday.
No, actually I didn't, because when I got there, it turned out they had ran out
Oh, Lord.
of the vaccine.
Mm.
So it's scheduled again for this coming Wednesday, because they were giving out the Moderna and the J&J. They ran out of Moderna, so you know how I feel about the J&J. So I'm going to go back this week.
I will wait. Yeah, I'm like you. I agree with you. Just wait till Moderna comes. Yeah, just to be safe. But I'm ready to go back.
I'm glad so too, because Deborah's the only one of our talk show that has not been vaccinated. Dewey went in February, and I went in March.
Yeah.
My husband and I went in
Very
March.
early.
So we were, and I have to give it to President Biden, everybody. We have so many so many vaccines that he is sending them to India and all these different places that need it, and that's a good thing, because I think we are at, and I'm not sure, we may be at least maybe at 50 or 60% now with people being vaccinated. I ran into somebody,
At least one shot.
Yeah, at least one. Listen, I was so disappointed. I ran into a man, and he's a well-known carpenter. He can do everything. And you all know I'm still masked up. David and I refuse to take ours off. It's going to be a minute before we come out of our mask. I'm just telling you, we're not doing it. I'm going to still have this mask on next month. I'm going to have it on in July. I'm not taking mine off yet. And I know that they're saying you can. I know people are going into the stores, and I know that they don't have a mask on. And I refuse to take it off, everybody, because they're not asking you to show any identification that you've had your vaccine. So you don't know who's had it and who hasn't. That's why I refuse to take mine off. Anyway, now this is an intelligent man.
Yeah.
This was an intelligent man. And I was talking to him, seeing if he could do some work for me. and he didn't have a mask on. And I said, "Have you been vaccinated?" He said, and I was kind of paraphrase. He said, "Oh no." He said, "I ain't going through that. He said, "I ain't to put nothing in my body." He said, "God wanted me to blah blah blah." And I don't know the exact words. I know he used God. Guys, I looked at him after I let him talk. I said, "Listen," I said, "I'm gonna keep my mask on around you." I said, "I am not taking my mask off around you." I said, "That's your choice to not be vaccinated." I just kind of hate it when I hear us talk like that. And I hate it when you all throw God in the mixture. I hate that because I keep trying to tell you, he would not have over 100 and I think 30 or 40 million people take this vaccine or take a shot with one of these companies if it was going to kill millions of people. So I really wish you all would quit throwing God in the mix. It just absolutely kills me every time somebody does that. And like I said, that's just me. But God ain't got nothing to do with this other than the fact that he's thinking how dumb you been for not taking the shot, okay? I mean, that's all I can take, all right? But have you all run into anybody that has said that to you all? I mean, that's just crazy. That is crazy.
Oh, most definitely. There are a lot of people who are actually afraid to take it. It's not a rational fear, it's irrational at this point.
Right.
They're afraid to take it because, they feel like, oh, why should I risk taking it when they're just depending on the rest of us to get ours? And they won't have to take it. I don't think there's any way that you can convince someone other than maybe your family members because they framed it, it's been politicized to the hill. And then also it was framed like it'll help someone else. It's not helping you, it's helping someone else. And of course, people selfish just come out as well. I mean, I'm like you, I'm not quite sure that the coronavirus is actually finished with us.
I don't think it is either. I'm just telling you all. Now, y'all do what you want to do out there. But Deb, you heard what Deborah said.
People coming out of their masks.
Right.
They're having concerts and large-scale gatherings.
That's right.
And I don't feel comfortable with that.
Deborah, I don't either. I don't either, everybody. Listen, the three of us will not be, you all will not find us without a mask. Now, Deborah doesn't live here. She lives in New Jersey. But I promise you, Deborah's probably wearing her mask. And I know Dewey and I are. I'm wearing mine, and I know Dewey's wearing his.
It's a habit to me now.
Me too, Dewey. Me too. I can't.
I don't walk out the door without it. It's just something that once you do anything a certain amount of time, it becomes a habit.
I can't take mine off yet. I don't feel comfortable, everybody.
I ain't even thinking about it. But we have to, we have to pray that folks. Did you see the black lady that she's the one that actually got to create the vaccine? She was on TV.
Oh, when, Dewey? When was she on?
It was yesterday, I think. Because she was on one of the talk shows. She's one of the inventors one of the developers.
If it's a lady that I think I saw her months ago, and I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know who he's talking about, everybody. That you mean that helped to come up with the vaccination for us?
She did. I can't remember. She had an odd first name. I can't remember the last name. But she was on there. They were trying to. This guy, he didn't want to take the shot, and he kept saying they had this. MSNBC had this program. She was one of the guests on it, and they were trying to convince the people, to go ahead and get the second shot. And he just said, "I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't, He just went through all the things they say. So she basically, she addressed him directly, and she said, you need to go ahead and get the vaccine. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm one of the ones who came up with the formula to do the vaccine."
Wow.
So she went on, and he wasn't convinced. And so,
that's what I'm saying. That at this point, with over 100 million people, like Sharon said, who've gotten it, a very minuscule amount of people haven't gotten it. But you're not appealing to rational thinking, reasonable thinking.
No, you're not.
They can say it all they want, but the people who are going to be convinced are already convinced. I mean, it's unfortunate that it was politicized, but it is fact. We're just going to have to get around it.
That's true.
This lady was so persuasive. I wish I could think of her name, because she was.
But she obviously wasn't as persuasive enough to get him to.
That's what I was getting ready to say, Deborah. That's exactly what I was getting ready to
He
say.
went home, and he and his mother decided they were going to go to CVS and get the shot. And someone told her that they were going to be at CVS, and she went to CVS, and this guy and his mother both got the shot.
Wow.
He said, I just couldn't find a reason not to get it. But this lady was so persuasive. They felt me here. If I could think of a name, if I could find her name, but it was on MSNBC. And
well, there are a lot of people who can be convinced by their doctor.
Right.
Maybe there are some people that they're just afraid because they're rationally afraid.
Yeah.
But then there are other people who I think a large percentage of people look at it as a betrayal of Trump, and they don't want to take it because Trump didn't.
Don't you just think that's the craziest thing, Deborah? Isn't that just the craziest thing? Did y'all hear what she said? She said a lot of people don't want to take the shot because they feel it's a betrayal of Donald Trump, meaning that if you take it, you're betraying him. Now listen, he has had I bet his whole family. In fact, I'd say they probably had it before they left the White House on January 20th, if you want to know the truth. Okay? I bet they've had their vaccinations. So now if you all want a chance, take a chance, and it's probably going to be a whole lot harder on those of you who have not had a shot at all versus those of us who have had 2 shots. Even those who have had 1 probably have a better chance of surviving this virus. And I tell you what, everybody, I don't know if you all have been paying attention to the news, but they are still talking to, there are millions of people, or I don't know if it's millions, but thousands of people that they're still interviewing, and they are still having all kind of symptoms from COVID. That is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Did y'all know that? I don't know if you all know that or not.
And now there's a new one.
But it was just on the news this week. I mean, people are having all kinds of issues. I mean, it's the thing of where people that they can't remember. People still can't smell and taste. I'm telling you all, people are having all kinds of problems from COVID. This virus was a powerful virus, everybody. That it has left the things it has left. Thank you to those of you. Hey, Lonnie, those of you that are coming on, click like and click share. Share the video for me. We're talking about those who have not gotten vaccinated, and a lot of people are saying they're not going to. But I'm just telling you all, it was just on the news. I think it was this week, and they were just talking about. They were interviewing people. I told you all about the one lady that said when she got vaccinated, her problem that she was having, she's a school teacher, and whatever her issue was, she was always so tired. She said, I couldn't hardly walk up steps and at school. She said, I had no energy. She said, in fact, she didn't even know she was going to be able to continue to teach because of the issues that she was having. And she got a vaccination. She said, when I got one of the shots, she said somehow or another, the shots have helped her. They have kind of taken away whatever issue she was having. Now that's weird, but she said that on the news, everybody. She said it's the strangest thing. She said the shot has helped me. She said I got more energy. She said I'm walking better. So I'm just saying, those of you who choose to not take the vaccination, it is your choice. But it sure is foolish, everybody. I mean, like I said, it's your choice to not do it, all right? Nobody can make it.
Well, I think the plan is to go to the communities that are resistant. Of course, we know the black community is still lagging behind
Exactly.
all of
Exactly.
the major demographic groups. And there are reasons for that, and they have to look at that specifically in order to get those numbers up. But to your point about the repercussions, if you do get it, there just last week it came out that many of the Indian patients, people who got COVID, are suffering from something called black fungus or something like that, which is a condition that comes about because of the coronavirus. And you may survive the coronavirus and then fall victim to it.
Wow.
So there are a number of people who died because of that. And so to me, I don't like to get shots either, but it just seems like, well, you may get a mild form of sickness, but that's much better than actually getting the coronavirus itself.
Yeah,
but there's something that you're going to be able to say to people who aren't taking it because they think it's a betrayal of Trump. Even though Trump took it himself, they're not going to take it because Trump is not in the White House.
That's right.
If Trump was in the White House, I wonder, would we be wanting to take it because we would be trusting, is he really doing what he's saying?
Let me just be honest. What you just said is probably true. So I don't know. Listen, I'm going to be honest. If he was still in charge, guys, I don't know if I probably walking around here with a mask on for the rest of my life, because or until he got out of office, because I don't know if I would take it. I mean, anybody that would encourage you to take drink Clorox. Now, why would you do anything that he tells you to do? Come on now.
Well,
come on now.
If you wouldn't be listening to him, you'd be listening
I mean, come on, everybody. I mean, I'm sorry.
If they said it was okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, black folks, we have to understand we have an issue with trust. And it goes back long before this.
That's true.
Oh,
that's
right,
true, Dewey.
So long
that's
before
true.
this.
That's true.
We couldn't, it's just, so, and then like I said, once you get it, to me, it can be psychological either way. You get the shot and you feel better, or you don't get the shot and you feel like, that psychologically I'm gonna be okay.
Now, how did you feel, Dewey, when you first got your first shot? Didn't you feel this? How'd you feel?
Confident.
Yes.
Confident.
That's a good word. That's a good word. I couldn't think of that. That's a good word, because that's exactly what I felt. Yeah. When I got my first one,
like, wow, man.
I did, and it didn't take no time. I mean, the time I sit down in the chair and she rolled up my sleeve and it was in, and she was done, and she was putting the Band-Aid on, and they moved me over to the next section and sit for 15 minutes. That's how fast and quick it is, everybody. There's just no reason whatsoever not to do your shots. No reason whatsoever. Guys, let me tell you something that I saw that kind of disturbed me just a smidgen, and I'm sure that Deborah has probably seen this. You all know the guy that I'm trying to pull it up now. Kyle Rittenhouse. Everybody, you all remember Kyle Rittenhouse. He was the one that was accused of killing the two people during the protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. Did you all know that young man has been out on bond? It says prosecutors request arrest warrant after Kyle Rittenhouse was accused of violating his bond. Now, here's what it said he did. It said District Attorney's Office alleged that Rittenhouse, 18, violated the conditions of his bond by failing to notify the court of his changed address, which makes it harder to monitor his whereabouts. See, stuff like that just irritates me to death. It irritates me to death, everybody, that you let that young man out after him killing two people. Okay? Now, I don't get that, Deborah, Dewey. Do you? I don't get it, everybody. I mean, who's to say that he won't kill somebody else? I don't get that.
We know the reason why.
I don't get it.
You know why? Yeah, you young white boy. I spent all week trying to figure out some words to call this fool that's in the White House 4 years ago that's acceptable on the radio, and it's hard for me.
Who now? Say what, doing?
Talk about your ex-president.
Oh, Trump.
I've been all week trying to find a word that's not cussing
Well, you can't find one. Just forget it, because you cannot find a word. There's nothing that fits him. And he's still trying to stir up trouble. The most wonderful thing, the most wonderful thing is he can't get on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Listen, let me just say thank you, Jesus. This is a thank you, Jesus moment. Mm-hmm. In fact, let me just give this to the Lord right quick. He deserves it. Hold on. He deserves this right here. Hold on. That's what Jesus deserves right there. Okay? I'm going to send that up to the Lord. All right? Thank you, God, that Trump is not back on Facebook. Let me tell you all something that David and I were both experiencing. We had to run into the store yesterday. And people were so nice to us yesterday. And we would separate. We separate when we go in the store. My husband goes one way and I go another. But when we connected back, I said, David, people have been so kind today. I said, a couple of ladies just started talking to me. These were white ladies. They just started talking to me in the aisles and asked me how I was doing. And some of the workers, I couldn't find something. I guess kept staring. I was overlooking it. It was right in front of me. And he said, ma'am, can I help you? And I turned around and I said, yes. And I told him what I needed. And my husband said the same thing. Said some man came up beside him, older man, that had a big beard, that normally probably would have never talked to a black man. David was saying he was talking about how high groceries and food is getting. Guys, you all can say what you want, but people are in a different mode and they have different attitudes now that Trump is gone. I'm just telling you all. People are. I don't know if people are doing you all, but people are just a little bit kinder, just a tad kinder. Have you all experienced any of that?
Well, I either way, I've met people who used to not be kind on now, and then I see people also that because of Trump, they're more outstanding. Their racism is more severe than it was before him. He has spewed hate for 4 years, and so the people on the far right, they can't stand the fact, this anti-Asian thing.
Yeah.
Picking on people. I feel like the racial violence has gone up since this man took office.
Well, don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong, everybody. There is still a lot of hatred out there, like, we're talking about with Asians. And let me tell you, now Muslims are beginning to jump on people now. It's still a lot of backlash from him. But I'm just saying, there was a time, I just go back to last year. I had so many Trump supporters calling me whatever on my wall. It was unreal. Deborah knows. Was I not fighting a battle every day or whatever day, Deborah, when I was talking about Trump last year? Come on now. Don't you remember all the people out there was battling me over Trump and my remarks over Trump? I have almost I don't know if you all know it or not, but I have almost 9,000 followers, okay? Almost 9,000 on my Facebook wall. Just Facebook. That's not Twitter. That's not Instagram. So a lot of these people that were following me, they were Trump supporters. And they were having a fit over things I was saying, okay? They were having a fit. So, I'm just saying.
And the fact that he's not on, that he cannot tweet, those people have gone found something else to do.
Good. Good, Joey. Good.
Well, they're still there.
Good.
They're in their Facebook groups and their Facebook pages.
Yeah.
But when you take him out of the mix, it's hard to sustain that kind of anger, long term without him stirring it up.
That's true.
That's what was happening before the insurrection. He was whipping people up every day with his tweets on Twitter and on Facebook. Now that that's not the case anymore, he's struggling.
That's
he's
true.
struggling to get in touch with his base because he tried the blog. It failed miserably because, he didn't allow comments. I mean, for someone to be so supposedly a genius at everything, he doesn't know anything about social media. Nobody wants you to come on there. That's the old school. You just pontificate and there's no interaction. He's not interested in any of the right-wing sites because he knows he's just talking to the choir. He wants to mix it up with liberals and Democrats and that would be on Twitter primarily and Facebook. But I read today that he's pretty much given up. He's given up getting back on Facebook. He's
Trump
given
has,
up getting
Deborah?
back on Twitter.
Wait a minute, Deborah. Trump is giving up?
Well, he's trying to think of alternatives.
Banned him permanently.
Say what now?
Yes, Twitter banned him permanently.
Okay.
And Facebook is equivocating. They're not willing to let him back on right now. He wants
Okay.
to come back on his own terms. But what he's doing now is he's thinking about going back and doing rallies this summer, and he's going to try to start his own social media, which will fail again.
Right.
Because nobody from the left or Democrats are going to go on wherever he's at, and it's just going to be Trump supporters that go there.
Yeah.
And how much? Oh, I love Trump. No, I love him more. No, I love him more than you do. I mean, how long can that keep going on? And so if they really did something that had not been done before, when they cut him off of social media, which that's affected since 2009 and 2011 when he started the birtherism stuff, that's where he's been at. And stirring up trouble, and they finally had enough, and they got rid of him. And they need to keep getting rid of him. Forget freedom of speech.
January the 6th is just a direct result of him, spurring those crowds on and doing what they did, trying to overturn the government.
Right.
And you see the Republicans, they're sticking together.
He was on there from November all the way up to January, telling people to come out. January 6th is going to be the day. And they did it. And we see what the result was. The question is, what I have been wondering, and we all have been wondering, what in the world does Donald Trump and maybe Putin have on the Republicans? Because it has to be something. Why are they still walking up behind?
I don't know, Deborah. I don't know.
Number one, he's got a huge following.
Well,
and when you have that,
that's
and
true.
you have a following
But
where you can,
losing him.
he's
not on
the way
social
you can
media anymore, Dewey.
I know, but
He's
they're
losing
still
his
his
base.
followers. But I don't
Well,
know
that's
if
true.
The base. I don't know, them racists and rednecks. They
are. But see,
know.
the Republicans are. I get what you're saying. The Republicans are afraid that the base will go behind Trump and get rid of them, and that is true. However, now they're showing only that he's losing his base because he can't communicate with them. He thought that all he had to do was start a blog, and they were going to go and follow him to the grave.
Yeah,
but
that's
he
true.
hardly had anybody sign up. He's struggling now.
It hurts. I mean, it hurts.
Why?
Deborah, I don't know why, but Deborah, I'm just glad. Okay, I don't know.
I think he did.
But he has millions of followers.
He does. Listen, I just told you all last week that Lindsey Graham said the Republican Party could not function without Trump. Now, I told you all that last week.
What he said.
And that's exactly what he said. And when he said that, I thought then, I said, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Can I answer something? Can I answer a question a young lady posted in here? She posted just a few minutes ago. She said she was watching the news and she said, they said you have to get the vaccine booster shot. She said, why do you have to get a booster shot every 6 months or every year or the shot's not working? Well, Teresa, it's kind of like the flu shot. We have to go get those every year too. Okay? And I don't know if you all take a flu shot.
And they don't know how long before you have
That's
to
right.
get
That's
the
right.
shot.
And it,
But the oldest people have had it is the longest is 6 months.
Yeah, right. So I'm just saying, it's like, and if we have to go back and get it in 6 months, hey, no problem. Guys, it don't take but a second. Don't take but a second. You just carry yourself right up in there, Teresa, because I'm sure you're a young lady and you want to be around here a long time. Don't you let COVID take you up out of here, girl. You go and you get your shot. If we have to have a booster. And I don't know.
Well, I heard a scientist on TV just today explained it very well. And what he said was Well, the reason why we're saying it would last at least 6 months is because we tested the very first people who got it back in November, and they still have antibodies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that it'll last just 6 months.
That's right.
It could be, we're thinking about a year. And so we know it'll last at least 6 months. At 8 months, we'll test those people. At 12 months, until we see a reduction in the antibodies. And that's where, based upon their previous experience with types of coronavirus, not this one, but types of coronavirus, that it'll be probably about a year. That you'll just
I'm
have to get it
thinking, listen,
every year.
everybody, I'm thinking this is going to kind of be like the flu. I'm thinking every year
Oh, yeah.
we're going to all have to go. And that's
Yeah,
fine
all
with
have to
me.
get boosted.
Because here's the thing. They'll probably have it at your doctor's office. So when you go up there to get to your physicals, or, you know what I'm saying, like when we go get our physicals, I'm going to get my flu shot. I'm going to get that. Now, I haven't had my pneumonia shot.
Collapse it into one shot.
Yeah, so I'm
that
thinking,
you won't have to get the
right, exactly. So you're just going to get it. Now, I haven't had my pneumonia shot
I'm
yet.
hoping it's going to be free. That's the other thing.
So now I was going to tell you, Dewey, that may be an issue. But here's what I think. Here's what I think. The people of the world did not bring this on themselves. So COVID should always be free, as far as I'm concerned. COVID shots. I mean, and you know, I mean, that's just my opinion, but I don't think we should ever have to pay for a COVID shot. I don't think you should. I just don't, everybody. You
I
know,
don't think you will be.
I hope not.
I don't think it'll
I
because
hope not.
most people don't have to pay for a flu shot. Because if you don't have the
That's
money,
true.
you could get the Obamacare.
Well, that's
the
true.
ACA,
That's true, Deborah.
And then you could get it for free.
That's true. That's true, Deborah. She's right, everybody.
Yeah, it should be
So
free.
I don't think
Should
we're
be
going to
free
ever
for
have to
that.
pay for
I'm just
COVID
saying, I don't
shots. But y'all know how simple it is. So just carry yourselves right up into the doctor's office or go to your drugstores. Let them shoot that little needle right up in your arm. It takes the lady about a half. It don't even take a minute. I mean, it's in there so quick. They put them things in there so fast, everybody. Lord have mercy. And I'm not afraid of needles anymore. I used to look at them. But, you know, I can look right at the needle. When they draw my blood, I'm looking right at the needle, drawing the blood at the same time. I just couldn't do that.
Well, I ain't that good.
Oh, I can. I've been looking right at her doing
I
what she.
know, me neither.
Oh, I don't know what has happened to me,
Yeah,
y'all.
I
I can't explain it. But when she sticks that little needle into, you know how they can put all them different little tubes in there and get blood. I'm just looking right at her doing that and say, "Girl, you so good." I mean, she is. She's this lady that does our blood. She is so quick and so fast. You know, she'll be taking out one tube and she gets that full and she pops another in. I'll just be watching that blood going in there. Don't bother me at all. Okay? Don't bother me at all, too.
I'm going to flint.
I know.
No. I look right at her. Look right, but now it took me years to get here. Now I'm telling you, I couldn't do this.
You good, cause boy, I can't even watch you get stuff on TV.
Oh Lordy, I don't have any trouble with it, everybody. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what has happened to me. Seriously, I don't. Let me ask you all something. Did you all know that, let me see if I got it here. Where was it? Hang on just a second. I meant to talk about it last week, but I totally forgot, but I made sure that I put it down here where I could talk about it today. Did you all know that, here it is, right here. I'm gonna read it to you, and I'm sure you already know it. Did you know Felicia Rashad has been named Dean of Howard University? It says Howard University announces alumni Felicia Rashad as Dean of the newly reestablished College of Fine Arts. Did y'all know that? I thought that was pretty special.
No, I didn't, but
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty-
great.
isn't that
She's
special?
so talented.
Yes, I thought
She
that
is
was
so
pretty
talented.
special. And let me tell you, they don't just give you those kind of titles, okay? They don't just give you a dean of fine arts. They don't just throw them titles around like that. So the fact that she has gotten this title, Sister Girl got something good going on for her.
Well, she's, we see her, that's one of those folks that we've seen over the years how talented she is. Her and her sister both are just unusually strong, talented people. They really are. So
I think it's great.
her.
I do. I think it's great, everybody. I really do.
And I'm happy they honored her, because that's an honor. especially Howard, that's.
Did I read this to you all last week? I saw, I listened to Sybil Wilkes. She still comes on, she used to be with Tom Joyner. And I was in my vehicle, I guess it was last week, but I think I forgot. I tell you, when I hear all these stories of our history, it just kind of upsets me, everybody. Let me tell you why it upsets me. It upsets me because we're killing each other. And our ancestors have gone through so much for us to be where we are today. When I hear that people have these drive-bys and killing all these young people in our schools here in Knoxville, and the young man that lost his life Thursday night, one of my choir members' sons lost his life sitting in his vehicle. It's just very depressing. But I don't know if I read this to you all last week or not. It said, a lynched black teen was pardoned in Maryland, everybody. 130 years too late. Okay? It said the year was eight. And I'm serious. I get all this stuff on my phone because I have a lot of stuff that comes across. And it said the year was 1885. His name was Howard Cooper, everybody. He was 15 years old, a black child. He was hung from a tree by a mob of white men in Towson, Maryland, for a rape conviction that an all-white jury reached within minutes. Since 136 years later, Maryland's governor signed an order pardoning Cooper of a crime for which he was denied legal due process against the allegations. 130 years later, the young man was 15 years old, right? Okay?
Sharon, that's one. You think of the thousands of black folks that were lynched in the past, all the way up into it's really strong up into the 30s and 40s. So
that's true. That's true, dude.
Even
and those folks, yeah, you're right. And so justice for that man. I don't know if it's justice. You've been dead that long.
Well, I guess family members. But I mean, this happened 130 years ago, everybody. 130 years ago.
It's justice in the sense that it allows the history to be told and not whitewashed and pretending like it's not there. That the U.S. doesn't have this history of violence against black people. And so all those stories need to be laid out there so we can understand not only what happened then, but how it has continued to this day, where you have the police and others abusing black people. And so to me, it's well that they do that, because there are some people who just don't
I'm sure
want
it's
to
a
do
good
it.
thing. It's a good thing. It's just, it's so depressing.
They have a place in Alabama where it's a lynch thing where they have a list of all the lynchings that have happened. Yeah. And I went there.
Resistance, Dewey. They have a museum, but if I'm not mistaken, it took years to just get that. Because there are a lot of people who don't want to hear, oh, that's old stuff, why should we remember that? Oh, you're just trying to make us feel guilty. All kinds of excuses. One of the reasons why we can't get an anti-lynching bill through. Oh, that old stuff, why are you still bringing that old stuff? Because it hasn't been told. That's why we're in the position we're in now.
Yeah.
Because and when I do the Black History, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that.
That'd be good. We got about 2 minutes. Deborah, you got anything that you want to talk about? You got about 2 minutes, Deborah, before we do our Black History. I keep finding all kind of history, but I'm going to let Dewey give it to us today, because today was his assignment. But I keep finding everything. Deborah, you got something else that you want to bring up, talk about today before we go into our Black History moment?
Well, it was interesting that you mentioned Felicia Rashad, because there was another woman, Nicole Hannah Brooks of Jones, who didn't get tenure at
University
of North Carolina because she was the one who developed the 1619 project. And that goes back to just what you were talking about. There are a lot of white people in America who don't want to hear about their people and this country. And there's a lot of resistance. I think there are at least 13 states now don't want to talk about House of Slavery. They don't want to talk about, then it'll be, they don't want to talk about Jim Crow.
Let me ask you,
They don't
Deborah.
want to talk about any of that.
Let me ask you, have they said why they don't want to talk about it?
Well,
I've heard a lot of people say it, but do they ever say why they don't want to talk about it? Do they ever say why?
Oh, yes, they do.
Why?
They say it's because it's divisive and because it makes it seem like there hasn't been any improvement, and it pits one group of people against the other. But the reality is, we know the reason why they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it because they don't want to do anything about it.
There you go.
They want to
There you go.
And it destroys
the
what
dominant race.
Yeah, and it destroys the image they want of this.
That's
country.
exactly right, Dewey.
A
That
light
is
on
exactly
field,
right.
It takes away from that image. It really does. The image they want.
And we know that it makes it seem it's an ugly history.
Yes, it
But
is.
you grow stronger from acknowledging that everybody knows the U.S. has a history of violence against black people and Native people. You're not fooling anybody across the world.
Right.
So just acknowledge your history, and then we can move forward. You know, that's the way to get rid of a problem, is acknowledge you have a problem, and then start to talk about how to rectify it. Other countries have done it.
That's true.
But we can't do it because we have people who are afraid that they're going to have what was done to us, like that boy back there in 1885. They think that's going to be done to them if the black people get in charge. We know that's not true, but that's what they think.
Yeah.
It's good to be on top. It's good to be the dominant race, and then you are the normal. Everything is geared towards you, and the others just have to look on and try to emulate you.
That's true.
That's what they want. That's how it's always been.
That's true. I don't know if I mentioned this, and I'm going to let Dewey have it in just a second. Did I mention last week, everybody, the report that 40 million Americans could be evicted? Did I mention that last week?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I don't think you did.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
I don't know. Let me just say it for those of you that did not see this. CBS reported that 40 million Americans could be evicted or lose their homes from the COVID-19 economy. Here's what was a little bit frightening, because it's a lot of it's Tennesseans. Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Chattanooga, Tennessee. They said we will be hit the hardest. They said our homeless problem is going to erupt. So I'm just letting you all know. Memphis, Nashville, Knoxville, and Chattanooga is going to be hit the hardest. All of these are cities in Tennessee. Said the homeless problem is, and it's already erupted. I saw the saddest thing this week. Oh my God. A man, everybody, this was one episode, a man was being put out. The renter said that, the time span that they had given them for COVID was over, and they really were supposed to give people to the end of June. But I guess it depends on what state he was in. But he was so pitiful. He was saying that his child, his little boy, was in the apartment trying to do his homework, and they were coming in, taking out stuff and sitting it out in the yard. And that just broke my heart, everybody. It just broke my heart. The other lady, she got evicted, and they asked her he was able to go to, he said that he had enough that he could at least go to a hotel for the night, and I don't know what he's going to do after that. But the other lady, guys, she had nowhere to go. She and her, I think she had 2 children. They went to their car. Did you see that? I got so sad with that. Tears were in my eyes, because I was thinking, my God, President Biden's got to do something. You can't sit these people out. You can't sit them out there, bro.
He's going to be able to get anything through, because the problems up there.
Oh my God, y'all! They can't sit these people out. And one of the the property owner is what I'm trying to say. I keep saying renters. The property owner, he asked the news people asked how much the man owed him, and he said $28,000. And you know that black man don't have that job. $28,000. I don't know how much the lady, and she was in the same building, but I don't know how much she's behind.
How much was the rent? Good Lord.
I don't know, Dewey, but he owes $28,000. I don't know what she owed, but it showed her having it being in a car. She had a blanket draped around her in her car. I just listen, everybody. It just broke my heart. I was thinking, people with money, they have got to help these people. You can't sit around and let people be evicted.
You think that's the problem?
Do this.
They don't want to help.
Can't. Well, they're gonna have to. You can't
watch
this and don't do nothing.
Has to be more responsive to poor and working class people. That's the whole problem.
Yes.
There's nothing for the poor people. There's nothing for working class people.
That's right.
When the economy goes under, you get a little bit of help. And just to take, for example, what happened with the foreclosure and the moratorium on evictions. Well, that's going to be up in next month, I believe. And so now you're going to have all these millions of people are going to lose their homes,
right,
or they're going to lose their rental unit. The government is offering, they're not offering anything. They're just saying, forbearance. What's forbearance going to do? That's just going to push it off down.
But see, let's put it where it really. Republicans have blocked and will continue to block anything to help working or poor people.
That's true.
Reality. But they're not in charge now, do we? We can't blame them all the way. Yes, they're playing politics, but they need to we have a bare majority. We're only going to have about a year and a half before the Republicans are going to come roaring back. They're already setting the stage trying to disenfranchise. So Biden needs to use that goodwill that he's spending on the Republicans. They're not going to help him. They're going to cut his throat like they tried to do Obama.
That's right.
So what he needs to do is stop talking to the Republicans. He's trying his best. They're not going to do it.
No,
this
they're
is
not.
1987.
And you can stop talking to them, but I'm just saying if they are not for it, they're going to block it.
Maybe they need to get rid of that filibuster.
Y'all gonna have to cut us off. It's time for Dewey to do our Black History Moment. Dewey, are you ready?
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Give us our Black History Moment.
Okay. You asked me to talk about my father.
Okay. All right.
And he was a civil rights activist in the 30s and 40s, long before it became kind of popular. I don't know if it's popular, but widespread. And what happened in 1939, they were black teachers were getting paid like 60% of what white teachers were getting paid here in Knoxville, teachers and percentage. So what he did, he was head of the Black Teachers Union, and what they did, he went around the country and around the city, and got as many black folks as he could register, and helped them pay their poll. They had poll taxes back then. Helped them pay their poll taxes, and encouraged. He organized them to vote as a group.
Wow.
And so what happened, he was able, because those records weren't public back in those days, he had to get this guard drunk at the Board of Education building, and then he, after the guy passed out, he went on his hands and knees, this is what they say, with a flashlight, and found the records of the salaries of the white teachers. Said he memorized them, and then the next day he came back to the board meeting and told them. And so what happened because he was so bold in it, they went ahead and equalized. They made the salaries equal in 1940.
Wow.
They didn't.
Wow,
and resistance.
Yeah. I'm sure there was, but not. Even back then, if black folks were organized and voted, they made a difference. They were not. The advantage he had was he didn't have resistance from our community. He got threatening phone calls. People threatening his life. Honestly, it was resistance, but it was just. He was able to do that in a kind of timely manner. And anyway, he got national recognition for what he did. Back then, your recognition was with Amsterdam News and Pittsburgh area.
Wow.
Great.
I don't think. So he was nominated for all the issues to Black America.
What was
But
his name?
But his stuff was, I'm just doing. He refused to get all that because he said he was just doing what he was supposed to do. So, and there are references.
Let me tell everybody, Deborah, I think just asked, did you ask what Dewey's father's name was?
Yeah.
Dewey is named after his father. His name was Dewey, Dewey as well.
Senior,
Okay,
yeah.
he's a senior. Dewey's a junior.
That's
Deborah.
They years later they named the street after him.
Yeah, there's a
And,
street here as well.
and I guess what I was want to say, and I don't like to talk about myself and things, but 50 years later, when I was over there, I helped lead a fight to equalize the schools.
Wow.
And he was able to get the salaries equalized with the teachers and administrators. But 50 years later, we had this problem here in Knoxville where, and as opposed to him, I was able to call in the department OCR, and they came in and found Knoxville in violation of 64 Civil Rights Act. So,
Yeah.
and so I'm saying that's 50 years later, you have that kind of issue. That's what I was saying about the issue.
Right.
Because,
right.
It is so important.
It's just
It's
because
so
I'm telling
important
you.
to know that history.
Dewey.
We if we don't nobody else know, we need to know it.
That's right.
You know,
That's
so
right.
they
There are
got
kids
information
right
about-
now that will say, "Oh, if I was back then, I would have did this and I would have did that." It was very dangerous to do what your dad did.
That's right.
You can't kill
Dewey,
them.
thank
And
you.
people
Guys,
do
I'm going to
get
have to
killed.
move us on, but thank you, Dewey, so very, very much for this wonderful history moment. I knew that Dewey could give us a great history moment with his father, everybody, because I knew some of the history of his dad. Dewey, that was great. Deborah, did you do last week's? Is it my time for next week?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, I'll have one for next week, all right? Because I get Black History all the time, so you know I'm not going to have any trouble finding one. Everybody, our time is up. I don't know how it gets by so quickly, but it does. But everybody,
When
thank
you tell
you.
the truth,
Say
time
what,
goes
Dewey?
by quickly.
Dewey said, when
That's
you're
right.
telling the truth, time goes by quickly, everybody. And it really does. It really, really does. Everybody, continue to get your vaccinations if you haven't. And most of all, everybody, continue to wear your mask. Don't take them off yet. I know everybody's walking in the stores because they were in there yesterday. But listen, there's still a lot of us that still have them on. So when I see people with them on, it makes me feel good because that means they're thinking like me. They're thinking, this thing hasn't gone anywhere yet. We're just getting just a little bit too, what's the word? Too careless. I mean, you're beginning to open up.
Complacent.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Complacent. That's a good word. And the problem is, everybody, they're beginning to open up everything. Theaters are opening up. You can now go in restaurants and just everything. So everything is beginning to open up. The cruise ships are getting ready to start sailing. Disney World, everybody's opening up. Well, let me say this and we'll be through. Everybody hasn't been vaccinated. You don't know who you're standing next to with that person that doesn't have a mask on. You don't know whether or not that person has had a vaccination. Like I told you about the person that told me they have no intentions of getting a shot. I said, well, if you come in this house, I'm going to stay covered up. I'm going to stay covered. And I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about making him cover up too. If you want my job in this house and you don't plan on getting a shot, you're going to have to cover up your dead blame face. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. Okay? Because, I mean, I made it through last year. I'm not trying to get COVID now in 2021. I'm not trying to do it. All right? I'm trying to coast on through this year and hope that next year is a better year. That's what I'm trying to do, everybody. Okay? Deborah and Dewey, thank you both so very much. I look forward to next week.
Thank you for telling your father's story, Dewey.
Yes, Dewey, thank you so much. It was
Yeah,
great. Great story.
He did something, and he never told. I didn't know about this till I got grown. So all the things.
But it was a great story.
At the big Cultural Exchange Center here in Knoxville, our Black Library. We got books and stuff on him and what he did and all that. But again, that's what I was saying about history. If nobody else knows our history, we need to know it.
Yes, we do.
And our kids growing up knowing what, and I hear people say, I couldn't be a slave out here. You've been a slave and dead.
Oh, yeah.
If you never be a slave,
Right.
I couldn't
That's
be a
so
slave,
true.
yeah.
That is so true. Guys, thank you all so very much. I look forward to next week. Everybody, you all know Monday is my, I call it message and prayer. I need a volunteer. I don't have anybody. And I would love to have a lay person. I don't even want to have a pastor. I just like to have one of you watching or listening to do it. Just all you have to do is just give us a message. Give us something that, a testimony, that something that has happened in your life. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to be clergy. Okay? So anybody that wants to do it, and like I said, you don't even have to be a pastor. I just love for you to give us a message, about 10 minutes, and pray. That's all you have to do. Guys, you all be safe out there.
I can, not this, because I got to give a message at my son's church tomorrow, but
Okay.
next Monday, not this coming Monday, but next Monday, I'll call in.
Oh, do it. That would be great. That would be great. Just give us a nice little message, and then what we do is I call out the names of those who requested a prayer, and that's it. Cause see, there's 5 Mondays in this month. That's when I run into this problem. There are 5 Mondays, and I think Monday. And I'm pulling up my calendar right quick. Give me a second. Monday, everybody, is the 24th. So there's still another Monday, the 31st. That's Memorial. So see, there'll still be another Monday. So yes, I can get somebody for this coming Monday, and I may try to pick somebody just randomly that, and I'm not even gonna try to pick a pastor. Because everybody has a message. We all do. We all have a message. Yeah, everybody's got a testimony. You don't have to be a pastor to tell somebody about something that you've gone through, that you've experienced. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. And then if you just want to share some kind of motivational message with us, that'll be good too. Okay? You can do that as well. It doesn't have to be spiritual. You just need to give us something that's going to motivate us, something that's going to be encouraging. That's all that this Monday thing is about, everybody. That's all it's about. So do if you want to take the 31st, that'll be great.
Okay.
Okay. Guys, thank you all so much. Y'all be safe out there and continue to wear your mask.
We will. Thank you, Sharon.
All right. And we will be back, everybody, at 6 p.m. on next Saturday.
You got to be careful. And don't forget to vote. We
don't have elections coming up yet, but don't forget, whenever your elections are coming up in your towns, make sure you are registered and make sure you vote. All right, everybody? Because we're going to also keep harping on that from now to the end of the year, because I think Knoxville has an election in August. So we'll be talking more about that. All right? All right, guys, I got to get off of here. Thank you all so much.
All right. Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
See you, Deborah.
Bye-bye, Sharon.
Okay, Sharon.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so very much for coming out here tonight. Thank you, Teresa, for your question. Again, Teresa, all you got to do is, if you got to get a booster, go get your booster. Okay? Now, they haven't said yet. Listen, everybody, I'm going to go off tonight with me doing one of my songs off of my CD. So if you all just hang out here just a few more minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you like about a minute or two. If you all have not purchased my CD, I'm telling you, you have no idea what you're missing. My CD has 23 songs. They're short songs. And you can just pop that in your vehicles when you're driving around and just be blessed. Because I say that the whole CD has been blessed, okay? They're $15. I have Cash App and I have a PayPal under my profile. You can go out there, so I don't have to call it out to you, but it's under my profile. And if you'll just prepay, I'll get an email. If you live in Knoxville, you can just come by and pick it up. If I have to send it to you, you need to put your address in the inbox for me, okay? All right, everybody, the time is 9 minutes after the hour of 7. I want to thank all of you, those of you who have been out here with me. Thank you, Teresa, so very much. Everybody, stay with me just a few more minutes so that you can be blessed with one of my songs, and it might just entice you to want to get a CD. How about that? 10 minutes after the hour of 7. You're listening to SharonRucker.com. You've been listening to Let's Talk. We're in the city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining us. This music is by one of my Facebook friends. Y'all know I can't play anybody's music when I'm live. Okay? So I like to make sure Facebook knows I have permission, because they will mute some of the program. That's what they do. Alright? So y'all don't be putting music out there, because you're just going to get muted. Some of it anyway. Okay, guys, hang on. Hang on.
Hi, this is Lamar Campbell, and you're listening to my good friend Sharon Rucker on the Gospel Train.
Y'all hear that? That was Lamar Campbell, everybody. How about that? All right. All right, everybody. I just love it when I play my little drop by Lamar Campbell. But y'all know, you all do know that he is a well-known gospel artist, right? And if you don't know, you need to Google him, because he's got a lot of wonderful, wonderful songs out there. And songs that I play. I probably have about 8 or 10 of them that I play on my station. Okay? All right, everybody. I'm going to go off tonight with me doing a little bit of, I'm going to do this one. To God be the glory. Because God has been good to all of us. All right? So let me just lower this, and let's go off with a little bit of me singing. Just a little bit of To God Be the Glory. All right? This one is on my CD. Amen. God has been good to us, everybody. The song says, to God be the glory for the things he has done. Everybody, it is time for me to get off. Thank you all so very much. Please, please, please. I need somebody to volunteer and give us a short message Monday. Dewey's going to do it the 31st. I need somebody Monday, about 10 minutes. And we'll call out all the names and then you'll pray. That's it. All you're doing is encouraging us. That's all you're doing. Don't have to be a pastor to encourage us. You just need to tell us something that has happened in your lives. Share your testimony. Tell us something. Encourage us. Motivate us. That's all you have to do, everybody. So if anybody wants to volunteer, I would love to have you. You just need to let me know by Sunday. Okay? By Sunday, so that I'll know that I've got somebody and I can post that you will be doing our Monday night message and prayer. It is at 8 o'clock. Now, here's the deal, Teresa. When we don't have anybody, I still go live. I just don't open up this camera. But you'll have to go to SharonRucker.com. Now, my friend Larky, she'll be out there because she listens all the time and she calls in. And so she and I, we have a praise party. You can call in Monday and you can thank God for something. Okay, so we don't have a volunteer. That's what we do. We just simply thank God for his goodness. All right, you just thank him for something that he's done in your life. All right, but I hope to have a volunteer Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. All right, thank you all so very much. I am about to get off here. Continue to wear your mask and continue to get your vaccinations. All right, everybody, because you can get them now everywhere. You can just walk in to drugstores and whatnot. They're everywhere. So there's no reason whatsoever for you not to get vaccinated. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate all of you. God bless you. Stay safe. Have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. And good night.